Welcome back to the morning news. Does guilt drive your decisions? One business owner in our province says she struggled with guilt for years, and now she's sharing her story to help other women. We welcome Colleen, the author of Guilt, The Secret War of Successful Women. The book is hot off the press, so we're so delighted Colleen could come in and talk about it. You just launched it on Friday?
Yes, thank you.
How does it feel to see yourself on the book and to see yourself in print there?
It's very exciting. It's like a dream come true.
I believe it. Why did you decide to share your story with other women?
Well, because I struggled for many years with feelings of guilt, and I thought I was the only one who did that. I thought there was something wrong with me. And dealing with grief after losing my husband, part of all the emotions coming out when I started talking about my feelings, guilt was a common thread in everything.
Let's give people at home a little background about you, because you run a successful business, and since your husband passed away, you've pretty much, taken over the reins. Plus, you're managed to do all kinds of other things, writing books and taking care of the other issues in your life. So how do you do it?
It is a balancing act, and that's one of the challenges that I've faced, and that's why I wanted to write about it and share what I've learned and what I do with other women.
Let's talk about just guilt in general. How is that the war? Why is that the enemy for women?
Because women have been programmed since we were little girls to think a certain way and just to accept expectations that other people place on us and that we put on ourselves after just being raised a certain way. And society has expectations of women, and women try to do it all and be it all to everybody else, usually to other people before they think of themselves. And so generally they suffer and not being true to themselves.
Something you wrote in preparation for the book, you say on your website, do you wear a mask to hide your true feelings, whether at home or work, to give the impression that you have it all together when the inside you are stressed out? I bet a lot of women can relate to that.
Yes, another common thing is the imposter syndrome that women have. And they think that any moment they're going to be found out that they're an imposter because people put you on a pedestal and you think you have to act a certain way and be a certain way, when really inside you're struggling just to meet their expectation of what they think you should do or should be.
That's interesting that you wrote this book, because a lot of women, often myself, I see other women and I think, wow, they're calm, cool, and collected. How do they do it? Because I am just, not feeling the same way they are. But I guess everybody feels this way?
Yeah, I think so. I know that from my research, women between the ages of 40 and 58 carry the most guilt in Western society. And that's just because of programming. So I'd like to talk about it. As soon as I start talking about guilt, other women open up. And it's something that they've kept a secret because they don't want to show that they're vulnerable. They don't want to show that they're insecure. And a lot of us battle with feelings of insecurity.
When you were writing the book and you did start talking to women, how did they respond to you going ahead with this topic?
Wow. As soon as I mention the word guilt, many women start to cry. They say, oh my goodness, they're actually relieved that other people feel the same, that they're not alone, that they're, it is a battle that's common. And that's one of the things is, first of all, acknowledging that there is a war. And a lot of times I would sabotage my own thoughts just because of, I can't do this. I'm not able to keep up. So it's the battle for your mind and how you deal with what you accept and where you set boundaries.
Now, I know we don't have a lot of time in this interview, but maybe just to end on, why don't you give people a little nugget of advice that maybe they can take today to help them deal with guilt?
Well, I think the thing is to acknowledge you're in a war and know who the enemy is and know that you have control and you have to take steps, because we all know if we eat more than we exercise, we'll gain weight. So knowing is only half the battle. You have to put it into practice. And that's the most difficult thing. And sometimes for women, that's uncomfortable because that means they have to speak up for themselves. And a lot of women don't speak up for themselves.
How do you give yourself that extra little push when you have those negative feelings?
Oh, because I think of other women before me. I think of my mother and my grandmother and what they endured and how much better off I am than they are. And that's why I like to share the story too, because, I've been very blessed in my life, and I feel I'm at an age where I've learned a lot and I have a lot to give, and I don't want to, just sit by. I want to make a better world for my daughter and daughters-in-law, my granddaughters. So, and women around the world are suffering as well, and I want to be a voice for those women as well.
Well, Colleen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.